welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another episode or another video in my series of makeup collection and reviews, and today we're going to talk about bronzing powders or bronzers and contour powders. Now for some people there might be no difference, for some there might be. That's why I'm giving two titles to this video: bronzers and contour powders. So without further ado, let's go through my collection. I'm going to get palettes out of the way first, and just like any other video, I'm going to be inserting photos of the products that I'm talking about, and there'll be links down below as well. So the first product that I would like to talk about is the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow palette. Mine is in the shade light to medium, and you open it up and it looks like this. And basically we're going to be talking about this shade right here, which is the Sculpt shade. And this I would call bronzing shade because it is very orange toned, if you can see right there. It's great for bronzing, to be honest, and it lasts pretty long time on the skin. So yeah, it blends well, it applies well. You just have to be careful on how much you dip your brush into it. But other than that, I actually like this bronzer. The next palette that I'd like to talk about is the Iconic Lights in Contour Pro palette, and you open it up and it looks like this. And basically all of these shades right here are for contouring and bronzing. Unfortunately, because I have such a pale skin toned person, all of these shades are more like bronzers to me than contours, because I like really cool toned contours, and these are too orangey for me. And to be fair, all 3 out of these 4 bronzers are actually too dark for my skin tone. The only one that I can pull off is this one right here. And again, you have to be really careful on how much you put your brush in there. And other than that, it blends actually really nice. But any other pale skin tone girl out there, I would recommend you rather build it up than go straight in with a dark colour. The next palette I would like to talk to you about is the Makeup Revolution Pro HD Cream Contour in the shade Fair. And again, open it up and it looks like this. And basically these 3 shades are for bronzing up and contouring. Now this one I can definitely not pull off, but the other 2 I can pull off as bronzing up, and this one actually as a contour. These are really thick and dry creams, so I would recommend maybe mixing it with oil or something. And I'm struggling to blend them out usually, but if you go lightly and if you mix an oil, they're actually pretty good and they last pretty long time on the skin. Now the next 2 palettes are self-made palettes, but the shades in there. First one is the Freedom Bro Artist Contour Shade number 3, and it looks basically like this, and I find it as pretty okay contour colour, but not much comes off, which is actually pretty good for girls like me who are super pale skin tones. Not much comes off, so you can actually build it up as a really light and natural contour. I wouldn't recommend bronzing up with this shade though. And the other self-made palette that I have, the shade from it is the Makeup Obsession Contour Powder in the shade Light, and it looks like this. Now this one is a bit too warm toned for me, so I would recommend more bronzing up with this. But if you're a slightly darker skin tone than me, then it would be actually a pretty good contour powder for you. It's this one right there, right there, sorry, can't speak. But yeah, for me it's more of a light bronzing up. You have to be really careful because it does pick up a lot of pigment, but it blends out really nice and it lasts on the skin pretty long time, and I'm pretty sure it's only £3. Now moving on to the actual compact things that I have individually. The first one I would like to talk to you about is the Maybelline Master Sculpt, and mine is in the shade light to medium. This is oldie but a goodie. It looks like this on the inside, and this is the contour shade right here. Again, it is a bit too warm toned for my skin tone, but it's very light, to be fair. You can really build it up. It's good for bronzing up for my skin tones. I'm not sure how it would look as a contour powder for darker skin tones, or medium skin tones I mean. But this is the powder that I started off with when it comes to contouring, and it's pretty easy to learn how to contour with or bronze up with, to be fair. Not a lot comes up, as I said. You can build it up and it blends well. The next powder that I absolutely love for pale skin tones like me is the Essence Mosaic Compact Powder in the shade 01 Sunkissed Beauty. It's absolutely stunning looking bronzer, as you can see, and it is definitely a bronzer because it's very warm toned. But it's one of those bronzers that you can swirl your brush around like loads and still not much comes out, which is perfect for my skin tone. Might not be suitable for darker skin tones than me. But I mean, as a bronzer, it works well for me. It's not the most favourite bronzer that I have, but it's definitely a good start-up bronzer, and it smells like coconut and it lasts a pretty long time. My favourite bronzer at the moment is the Bourjois bronzing powder in the Festival edition, which looks like this. You open it up and that's what it looks like on the inside. I have no idea what shade is mine in, to be fair, but as I said, all the information will be linked down below. But this is one of those bronzers that, yes, you do have to be careful on how much you're putting on because it can turn into like a muddy, orangey mess very fast. But once you're careful, it actually really gives you the natural sun-kissed bronze onto your skin, and I've been absolutely enjoying it. I've not yet found a bronzer that actually gives me that effect, as if I've been on a holiday and I've been sun-kissed by a skin, and I've been sun-kissed by a sun, and it's absolutely beautiful bronzer, and it lasts the entire time that I have my makeup on, basically, which can be sometimes up to 8 hours. The bronzer from the same brand, Bourjois, that I'm a bit meh about is the bronzing powder plus highlight book or palette or whatever you want to call it. And you open it up and you've got two sections. You've got the bronzer and you've got the highlight. The highlight's meh, the bronzer's meh. I think the problem with the bronzer is probably the same bronzer, but I think this bronzer is actually a bit more warm toned. And also, I can't get my brush properly in there without actually mixing it with the highlight, which is not always what I want. So I wouldn't exactly recommend this one, to be fair. The next bronzer that's actually pretty good is the e.l.f. It's the e.l.f. Bronze Peach Palette, which looks like this, and you've got the bronzer on this side and the blush on this side. And when you're looking at it, you might be thinking, oh, that's too dark, you can't pull it off. But because it's like a because it's like cream product in the actual pan, when you take a stippling brush and then dip it in there a bit, maybe swirl around on your wrist before you put it actually on your face, you can actually build it up to be a very nice bronzer. I wouldn't say for my skin colour it's a contour powder, but it is definitely a bronzer, and a really good one at that. I really like it. Right, the next bronzer that I want to talk to you about is the HOOLA Benefit Bronzer, which looks like this. It's not the light one, it's the other one. And on the inside it looks like that. And I wouldn't recommend this for pale skin tones. I don't know why, but it's just a bit too orange to me. It's this one right here. It's a bit too orange for me, and you literally just have to lightly dip your brush in it for it to not look orangey and muddy on at least my skin colour. I mean, if that's something you like, then that's perfect, but I don't like it. But other than that, yeah, it's definitely a bronzer, not a contour powder, at least not for me. And I just don't think it's worth the money that they're charging for this. Now, the last bronzer that I want to talk to you about is bronzer that I've still not yet figured out. I think I've just got too much of a dark colour or something, but it's the I Heart Makeup Summet of Love Triple Baked Bronzer in Hot Summer of Love. And the packaging looks like this. I absolutely love the I Heart Makeup Love Heart packages. But on the inside it looks like that. And I don't usually like shimmery bronzers, and this is definitely one of those that are super, super shimmery. Like, look. I mean, can you see that? That's more like a highlight for dark skin tones than a bronzer, to be fair. And I don't like that. I don't want to be looking like, I don't know, I don't want to be looking like a shimmering stone or something with putting a bronzer on, like shimmery bronzer like that, and then a highlight, and then also like a blush that might have a little bit of spark to it. I think that's just a bit too much for me. And obviously this is too dark for me to pull off as an actual highlight. The price is great, and I mean, if you can pull this off as a highlight, that's brilliant. If you like these types of bronzers, that's brilliant. I just personally don't, and so I wouldn't recommend this particular one to light skin tones like me. I'm probably going to be decluttering it very, very soon. But other than that, I mean, it's stunning product. It just doesn't work for my skin tone. Right, guys, that's it. That's all my bronzers and contour powders, and yeah, there's definitely some favourites of mine in that selection, and there's definitely some fails as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comment section down below if you have used any of these bronzers or contour shades, if they work for you, if they don't, any that you would like to recommend to me to try out, that would be brilliant. And other than that, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing if you have, or commenting or liking. I really do appreciate all the activity that you give back to my channel. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing day wherever in the world you are. Just know that you're appreciated, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!